Mirchi FM is #1 in Singapore.
I love Mirchi FM, it's so hot.
Dekhiye mein lal lal, khaye mein high high. Tangi tangi tauba mein Mirchi FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singapore, love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Suva.
It's hot.
Mirchi FM, bau julum julum.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Labour Party promises to bring back policies thrown out by Bainimarama government. Suva High Court rejects constitutional redress application by National Federation Party nominee Makareta Wangavonovono. And people rush to get registered for upcoming elections with only 2 days remaining. Good evening, welcome to FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. Now, the Fiji Labour Party launched its manifesto today, promising its supporters to bring back some policies that were thrown out by the current government. And as Ritika Pratap reports, the top 4 priority areas that the party will address if elected into power are unemployment, housing for the poor, rising cost of living and poverty.
The Fiji Labour Party's manifesto gives a lot of emphasis to social issues, as it claims poverty has risen and unemployment amongst youth has gone up by 20%.
The manifesto focuses on meeting the needs and aspirations of the masses, the poor, the workers, farmers, villagers, and those in rural and peri-urban settlements. Attention is also given to those engaged in small businesses and self-employment ventures.
Some of the promises by the party are expanding the zero-rated VAT on basic food, medicine and consumer items, reviewing the high electricity rates and the billing system of the Water Authority of Fiji. The manifesto also states that the party will restore FNPF pension cuts, provide pension to elderly citizens over the age of 65, review welfare assistance rates, restore retirement age to 60, monitor high influx of foreign workers taking jobs from locals, and set up a national service scheme to help find employment for youths. As well, the party will carry out reforms in the sugar, copra and fisheries industry.
Over the years, because of neglect and lack of activity, planned activity in the rural areas, our people have been coming into cities, looking for jobs which are non-existent, and this has created a problem with the housing in urban areas, so that is also a top priority.
To improve health services, the party in its manifesto says they will establish a national health scheme similar to Medicare in Australia. Education, the party will introduce free subsidy scheme for tertiary courses and review the student loan scheme, reintroduce external exams in schools. Other issues include relooking at the operations of the Land Transport Authority, making changes within the Fiji Police Force by relooking at positions, how promotions or appointments are made and wages. For the media, party leader Mahendra Chaudhary says they will relook at the decrees imposed.
Basically, we will restore media freedom and we will scrap media licensing.
Is this across the board for all decrees relating to the media?
All the
decrees that are relating to
Yes, we will review the media decree in its entirety. And the most important thing, first of all, is to restore media freedom. And media licensing should be scrapped, because that's the instrument they use in intimidating the media.
The Fiji Labour Party says when in government, they will review the 2013 constitution, revoke all harsh decrees that impinge on human rights and reinstate the Great Council of Chiefs. The party also supports a secular state for Fiji. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Meanwhile, the Fiji Labour Party also announced 12 new candidates to contest the September 17th elections. They are Kalisito Maisamoa, former journalist Kamlesh Prasad, Ratu Meli Bongileka, Marika Tauva, Bobby Ratish Lal, former MP Ponipate Lasavua, Varunlan Rajendra Singh, Paulini Wanganimboro, John Ro Mala, John Ebembe and Chandar Singh. The party is yet to decide if it will contest all 50 seats.
Well, we've still got time. We've got 3 more weeks. We will be announcing some more candidates. I can't say at this stage exactly how many seats we'll be contesting, but there will be more candidates, yes.
A former magistrate and National Federation Party nominee Makareta Wangavonovono may now be disqualified from contesting the September elections. The Suva High Court has ruled that it has no jurisdiction to hear her constitutional redress case against the Electoral Commission, the Supervisor of Elections and the Minister responsible for elections. Wangavonovono had sought a ruling against Section 23, subsection 5 of the Electoral Decree, which states a person who's been away from Fiji for official government business is eligible to contest the election. The decree states persons must be ordinarily residents in Fiji for at least 2 years immediately before being nominated. She had been away for 12 months studying in Australia and argues the provision infringes on her political right to be a candidate. Wangavonovono also has to pay $3,000 in court costs. NFP leader Professor Biman Prasad refused to comment, only saying the party will hold a meeting this evening to discuss the matter and will issue a statement tomorrow. The Fiji First Party is disappointed at the way the media is covering political events in the lead-up to the September elections. General Secretary Ayar Sayed Qayyum says most journalists are reporting on what a political party or its members are saying rather than getting the accurate information from the relevant authorities. Political parties claim the country's economy is not doing well, and because of that, prices for basic food items are high.
Whether some of these journalists are doing this deliberately, or whether they cannot count, or whether they somewhat not very proactive in terms of ascertaining that information, that's something I think that needs to be improved upon.
Sayed Qayyum also said that information on the economy as well as on tax are available from relevant authorities such as the Reserve Bank of Fiji and the Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority. Remember, only 2 days remain until the closing of voter registration. This saw many people rush to voter registration centres today to register for the upcoming elections. Savara Tambua has more details.
Only 45 days remain till the elections, and those who have yet to register today made the last-minute dash to get their details on record. Those who still have to register, especially the youth, are now urged to do so before Monday evening.
The Fijian Elections Office and the government believe in the voice of young people. You know, that young people need to take ownership of what's happening in the country and in terms of decision making in choosing our leaders. So we encourage everybody of voting age to come on down. You have the last 3 days. The Fijian elections officials will be out in the public with the registration clerks conducting voter registration.
While some came to register, others came to the registration centres to ensure their details in the system are correct. So there is no confusion on elections day.
First time when they told me to vote in Tamavua somewhere at the FSM, but when I found it out this morning, reading the paper, I read that to vote, text this number, so I did. And I found out it was a different venue altogether. That's why I'm here to make sure that for me to go to that venue where I'm supposed to vote.
Meanwhile, postal voting is now open to those who will not be able to cast their vote on elections day. Applications to undertake postal voting will close on the 27th of this month.
People can apply for postal voting if they won't be able to make it to their polling station for whatever reason on the 17th of September, are ill in bed, bedridden, elderly, or disabled, and will not be able to make their it to their polling station on the day.
The Elections Office has confirmed that voter registration will close at 6 on Monday evening once the electoral writ is issued by the President, Ratuepeli Naletikau. The nominations for candidates will also begin after the closing of registration. Savera Tambua, FBC News.
Still to come on FBC News, Fiji launches first ever agriculture policy aimed at taking industry forward for the next 5 years.
Goal FM is #1 here in Sigatoka.
Gold FM is our favorite radio station here in Lautoka.
Gold FM is number one in Nen.
I love listening to Gold FM in Ba.
We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits here in Suva.
Hear about bottled cola, you immediately think of gold. I'm Josephine Sabi and I love hearing Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Welcome once again to FBC News. Former Vice President and Bao Chief Ratuchoni Manraiwiwi has been appointed Chief Justice of Nauru. His appointment comes after the former Nauru Chief Justice Jeffrey Ames was shut out of the country by the Prime Minister Baron Wanga. The Australian News Limited reports Ratuchoni is one of 3 new judges appointed to the Supreme Court of Nauru. The other 2 are Australians Mohammed Shafiq Khan, a former Queensland, Victorian and Fiji barrister, and Jane Hamilton White, a former Queensland barrister and Principal Magistrate of the Solomon Islands. The 3 will take up their positions over the next few weeks. Fiji's first ever agriculture policy, which entails a 5-year development plan to modernize the agriculture industry and make farmers successful, was launched by the Prime Minister of Orenge Bainimarama last night. Alan Stolz reports.
The Fiji 2020 Agriculture Development Sector Policy Agenda aims to help big commercial farmers and small rural farmers to be successful and earn more money for themselves and their families. The policy was developed with sustainable input from farmers, exporters, regulators, government officials and policy experts, including a team from the Food and Agriculture Organization.
Today is a highly specialized skill, and farmers need the proper training and assistance in order to do the job they expect to do and to achieve the results they are hoping to achieve. Whether it's a big export-driven operation, employing dozens of workers, or a small rural farm supporting a single family.
According to the Prime Minister, the policy focuses on new technology and offers creative incentives for our local farmers to help them take the industry into the next generation.
Naturally, one of his key focuses on ways Fiji can attract more local and international investment in agriculture, which is essential for growth and development in the industry. Related to this, of course, is an emphasis on encouraging younger Fijians to take up farming as a profession by showing them that it can offer solid career prospects. But perhaps most important is that the policy agenda establishes a long-term plan for the industry moving forward.
Agriculture Minister Colonel Inia Seriratu says, amongst other things, the policy recognizes the important role agriculture plays in Fiji's socio-economic development process.
The formulation of Fiji's 2020 agriculture sector policy agenda is timely to provide directions and leverage for the agriculture sector to achieve its national objectives of promoting domestic and international investment on agriculture infrastructure as well as key commodities.
The Fiji 2020 Agriculture Sector Policy Agenda entails a framework of workable policies and strategies that will accelerate the growth of the industry, something that will surely benefit the future generation. Ellen Stolz, FBC News.
The Labour Ministry is cautioning the public not to be associated with anyone that is recruiting Fijians and collecting money for work in the US. It is believed some such individuals are operating from Nosori and moving to other parts of Viti Levu. Labour Minister Chone Usamate says they are not authorised by the ministry. He warns that under the Employment Relations Promulgation, any employment agency operating without authorisation is liable to a fine of $20,000 or 4 years jail term or both. Usamate is strongly urging the public to seek clarification first before applying or making payments and to demand for the certificate of authorisation from these individuals. And after the break, FRU Nandronga iron out issues. And women's football launched.
Richie FM is #1 in Singapore.
I love Richie FM, it's so hot. They came me lala, kai me high. Tangi tauwa me.
Mirchi FM is hot. Here at Rugby Town, Singatoka love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Richie FM is #1 in Suva.
It's hot.
Mirchi FM, Bo Julum Julum.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Welcome to FBC Sports. Ratu Kandavulevu School will meet Lelin Memorial School in the final of the Coke Zero Deans Under-18 final. This after the RKS beat defending champions Ratu Navula 11-8 and Lelin beat QVS 21-18. Both matches had to be decided after extra time. All the finals for the other grades have also been decided after the completion of the semi-finals in all grades, which were held in Suva today. In the Under-14 final, QVS will meet Marist. Ratu Navula will play QVS in the Under-15 grade and Marist will feature in the Under-16 and 17 finals respectively, while RKS will battle Lomaivuna in the Under-19 finale. The impasse between the Fiji Rugby Union and the Nandronga provincial side has been resolved in a meeting held today. Nandronga had threatened to boycott its remaining matches, including the Skipper Cup semi-final and the Fair Brother Challenges. However, all parties came to a collective agreement to allow the sport to move in the right direction. FRU says they are glad to have been able to resolve all issues tabled by Nandronga and other unions.
Yes, we're happy to confirm that the issues have been raised honestly, sincerely during our meeting. I think that's a hallmark of rugby players, being upfront and sincere. Yeah. So we have worked a schedule whereby we will meet up or deliver some of the deliverables that are at issue at the moment.
Nandronga Rugby Union President Tiko Matawalu has confirmed their grievances have been heard and noted, and a written acknowledgement will be given to them next week. The Vodafone Fiji Secondary Schools Inter-District Football Championships was launched in Suva today. With new schools like Nambua Secondary taking part, the competition will see 20 under-19 teams battle it out at Govind Park in Ba in a fortnight. The organisers say district teams should look at the talent on display closely, as the youngsters can prove to be great asset for top-level matches.
We are generally, what districts do is, they go and hunt for players from other districts. If they take some time out and be part of our tournament, they will see the cream of Fiji soccer playing in 2 weeks' time at Govind Park in Ba. And I request the coaches, the managers to be present, the district team managers, so that they can select the young generation who do not demand money, who do not demand house, but they just want to play.
Fiji's Eugene Volmer managed a season-best distance in the men's triple jump at the 2014 Commonwealth Games in Scotland this morning. Volmer finished 7th in his group of 10 jumpers with a leap of 15.79 metres. Leslie Copeland was placed 5th in his men's javelin event with a hurl of 75.59 metres. He will feature in the final tomorrow. Today marked a historic achievement for the women's football in the country. 5 Western districts received equipments provided by FIFA in partnership with the famous Adidas brand at the Ba Academy. As Akusita Tale reports, the sponsorship is expected to develop the sport to another level.
These new soccer boots, as well as other new equipments, has surely brought smiles to young girls who aspire to become famous football stars in the future. The Fiji Football Association says that women's football has been neglected over the years and it's time to change and develop it.
Gone will be the days where we used to see players borrowing boots from brothers or friends. Gone are the days of borrowing shin pads. Gone are the days where players, when they're about to change, would have to wait for the player who's coming out to take off her boots for the player that's going on.
We are heading into a very historic moment and a new path for women's football development. And this, we believe, and I firmly believed before when I got in also, that women's football will be one of the most watched football game in this country as we go along and develop this sport.
The association is adamant these sponsorships will boost preparations for the under-17.
It's very crucial because this is where Oceania, we felt too that if development in women's football has to happen in Oceania, it has to happen at a younger age group. So we made it compulsory to all 11 member associations that they have to participate in under-17 men's and women's too. So women's football, before we used to select which tournament we used to go and participate in Oceania, but now under-17 is compulsory and Fiji will participate in under-17 women's.
Development centers have also been planned to set up around the country to encourage girls of both rural and urban communities to take up the sport.
We will not be having development centers only in town. These development centers will be in schools, in rural areas, where we'll be covering into Reki, Watukola, Tavua.
The equipment provided will cater for 12 district teams, which accommodate 22 players a team. The presentation was followed with the launch of the 2014 Fiji Football Association Rooster Women's League. Akusita Talei, FBC Sports.
The Vodafone Cup Rugby League competition continued today with 4 top 8 games played. Nambour Broncos beat Topline Warriors 32-6 in an exciting encounter, while the Nandera Panthers were 28-16 winners over the Cowboys. In another match, Saru Dragons beat McCoy Bulldogs 20-12, while Sambeto Roosters beat the Police Sharks 30-20. Generally fine weather conditions prevailed over most parts of the country today, apart from few showers over the eastern and interior parts of the larger islands. A high-pressure system to the far southeast of Fiji directs a strong southeast wind flow over most southwest Pacific island countries. Nadi, Lautoka and Lambasa recorded a high of 31 degrees on the temperature chart today. Suva and Savu had a low of 27 degrees. Tomorrow, Nadi, Lautoka, Ba and Lambasa can expect fine weather all day. However, Suva and Savu will get some clouds along with some showers in the afternoon. As for the further outlook, few showers over the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands. Elsewhere, it should be fine. Southeast winds 20 to 25 knots and up to 30 knots at times. Rough to very rough seas are expected. Recapping our headlines tonight. Fiji Labour Party promises to bring back policies thrown out by Bainimarama government. Suva High Court rejects constitutional redress application by National Federation Party nominee Makareta Wangavonovono. And people rush to get registered for upcoming elections with only 2 days remaining. Now on to our Fijian Speak segment. The question this week, what makes a good leader?
Faithful and be honest to the people.
Good leaders should be honest and think about the people.
I think it's hardworking people makes a good leader.
You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page FBC News, or if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or hashtag FBC News. And remember, to receive the latest headlines on your mobile phone, take subspace FBC to 777. That's all for tonight, but before I go, all the best to Crusaders tonight. See you again tomorrow. Good evening.
Richie FM is #1 in Singapore.
I love Richie FM, it's so hot. Deke me lala, kai me high. Tangi tauwa me. Mirchi FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singatoka love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Richie FM is #1 in Suva.
It's hot. Mirchi FM, bo julum julum.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.